what's going on, everyone? Welcome to our Q&A, where I'm going to be asking Sebastian questions from the IronChain community, as well as helping you guys actually understand what IronChain is and how it's going to change the DeFi space. But without further ado, my name's Nico. I have a real estate background for a couple years, as well as been in Web3 for a while. I just love crypto. But yeah, let's just hear from you, Sebastian.
Exactly. So Nico is the co-owner, just like he presented himself. I'm the owner of IronChainLabs. I've been in the DeFi space and Web3 space as well for a really long time. I studied economics in Germany, and pretty much this was my pipeline. So from economics to programming, and from programming straight into the Web3 space. And exactly, today we're gonna do this Q&A finally. And I'm really anxious to see what questions are gonna pop up. But yeah, go on.
All right, perfect. Well, let's just get straight into the questions. The first one I have here is, what problem is IronChainLabs trying to solve in the DeFi space?
So we are trying to solve, in the first place, one of the biggest problems that we are running into lately is just that the traders, between you guys, gonna know it. It's just having way too many tabs and applications open at the same time. I personally, if I'm trading on, let it be futures or even meme coins, I probably gonna have above 10 to 15 tabs open, a index, a coin explorer, a trading interface, and so on. And IronChain really aims to bring everything into one place where traders and the whole community can use those tools from a single application, where in the best case scenario, you maybe just gonna have 2 to 3 applications open, and you're gonna be able to trade without all of the noise and cluttering of having that many tabs open. This is one of our main issues we are aiming to solve, and of course many others, but this is pretty much the quality of life we are trying to bring to the community in the DeFi space.
Yeah, I agree. Very well said too. I know personally, since I'm a trader as well, there's so many tabs that I have open, probably at least 12 or 15 if we just count them all up. So having it all just integrated into one application is truly going to help everyone. But let's just go to the second one. What inspired you to build this ecosystem?
Many things. Actually, just like I mentioned in presenting myself, it was a whole pipeline that got me to the point of getting interested into crypto and DeFi space. And yeah, many people, as an example, one of my mentors back in the day when I was still in the insurance game, and as well just my community. I started pretty small, launching meme coins and giving out signals about futures trading and so on. And my own community was always just, you know, saying and commenting in the groups about those issues, about those daily issues that they be encountering while trading. And this was one of my main motivations, having that many people behind me and actually being able to solve those issues and deliver them something really special. And of course, from a small idea, it got to a bigger and bigger ambition and plan where we got here, where we are trying to launch our own ecosystem.
Yeah, I like how you just wanted to tackle everything, because you figured out there's so many things that are wrong in the DeFi space, and you crack down the code on every single one of them.
Exactly.
But let's go on to this one. Might be a little bit hard for you. I think it would be hard for anyone. But how would you describe IronChainLabs in one sentence?
One sentence. That's hard. So in one single sentence, it would be DeFi from the people and for the people. So we ourselves are as well common people, of course, and we are traders, daily traders, where we encounter all of those issues that the common traders encounter as well. And pretty much that's how I would describe it. We are doing DeFi from the people and for the people.
Yeah, I like how you said for the people, and you stated already that it's tailored for the community. That's just super special. People can just say it, but IronChain really is tailored for the community. But let's just go to the third question. What are the core pillars of IronChainLabs ecosystem?
So the main pillars would be, of course, supporting and having a community hub for the people. Once again, it's really community driven. The second pillar, I would say, it's the AI integration, but in a, I would almost say, in an ethical manner, where of course we are not going to be integrating AI support, because in my opinion that's just horrendous. But of course integrating AI and so on into trading, AI into organizing and filtering data and so on. and into the tools as well. So this would be the second pillar. And the third pillar, of course, having a really skilled agglomeration and committee of people that are working all the time on the project. It means more than that, more than just, you know, employees. It means that the whole community and everybody that is skilled and everybody that can bring something to the table is actively working on IronChain. And the last one I would say is just goes back to the first one once again, is the democratic voting of tools and so on. So those would be the main pillars. Of course, you could count in technology and all of the new things that we're trying to bring to the DeFi space, so innovation. But I'm a strong supporter of just doing the things that are work better before we start innovating. But those are pretty much the main pillars. Yeah, exactly.
And like, are you already talking about AI? So I'll just bring it up. How you were saying you don't like the tech support being fully AI. Neither do I. And that's just, I wanted to emphasize on that because a lot of the companies, however, we're talking about in our podcast, they were integrating, you know, AI throughout everything. So that goes on to the next question, actually. Can you explain how AI is integrated to the system?
So, just like I said, we want to aim for ethical use of AI. This just doesn't mean, using art and so on that isn't yours, because obviously there were many scandals where AI was using copyright art that isn't theirs to use. But not just that, but actually using AI in a manner that is just gonna integrate quality of life into the life of the people of the ecosystem and employees, because I think it's just wrong what's happening right now lately, that AI is coming to the point where it's just like, you know, substituting and pretty much destroying workplaces and so on, working opportunities and jobs. And pretty much this would be the way to integrate AI into our ecosystem, utilizing it as a tool and not really as a substitute for something. And of course, if you go deeper, we're going to use AI in our trading systems. We are already using AI in our trading systems, to be exactly. We are using AI in our indexes and tools and so on. So this would be the way how AI would be integrated.
Yeah, I like how you said that you're not trying to, you know, substitute humans in a way.
Yeah.
You're not trying to push the humans out of the way. You're just trying to do it the good way, not the bad way, because there's a good way for AI as well as a bad way. But let's just go into the next question. What makes your DeFi tools different from what's already available?
So that's the point. They are not that different. They're just going to be more easily accessible and I would say more high quality and top notch what the market offers. But it comes to the point to having everything in one single place and having as well cross benefits and cross advantages where, you know, if you have a different side with a different tool and you go to another side that offers the similar kind of tool, you're gonna need to learn everything from the beginning. But in our ecosystem, our tools, they're gonna be pretty much tailored the same, where you're gonna have a similar interface, you're gonna have a similar layout and colors and so on. So it comes more to having certain rules and norms where everything is easy to learn in a sense of if you learn one, you can learn every single other one to come. So yeah, that's pretty much the difference. And once again, being inspired and being made based on the feedback and opinions that we're receiving from the community.
Yeah, and then just a question, when you were making the tools, were you planning on making it easier for, like, let's just say a normie to understand how it all works, or were you just doing it for everyone? Like, what were you thinking?
Of course, there's gonna be tools and indexes where we just know that I would say a beginner wouldn't use them. And of course, they're gonna be more complicated. We cannot compromise on, you know, functionalities and so on and on features just for the sake of beginners, of course. But the starter tools and the starter applications that we're gonna bring out, like, you know, basic indexes, and I would even go to the point of trading interfaces, they're gonna be completely beginner friendly. So there's gonna be a step up where you start low on certain tools and then you work your way up through education and just, you know, trying it out. So yeah, there's gonna be different levels to it.
Yeah, like I mean, you said it perfectly. You start at the bottom, you work your way up. That's like with everything in life. But let's just go on to the next one. How does the community governance work inside of your ecosystem?
So, just like I mentioned, with tools and the software we're going to be programming and making for the community is going to be able to inquire and send us ideas of tools and indexes and so on that they really want us to make for them. That's going to make their trading life easier. And this is pretty much going to be the democratic governments. They gonna send us the ideas. We're gonna put the ideas into a forum where people are gonna be able to vote for those ideas. And of course, the winner is gonna get picked, put on a to-do list where we're gonna program those objects on the to-do list. So this is pretty much how the governments works. Like the whole community is gonna be able to vote for an idea.
Perfect. And then just wanted to ask a question for the people that I've already had in the DMs asking. If they're not part of the IronChain, as in they don't hold any IronChain, will they be able to vote?
That's a pretty good question. Actually, a lot of people were asking about that because that's obviously a issue if somebody's not participating into the community, having a vote right. And of course, there's gonna be verification steps to it, so people cannot bot certain ideas and so on. You're gonna need to make an account on our website. You're gonna need to have a certain amount of IronChain coins to actually be able to vote.
Yeah, I agree. I was just making sure everyone out there understood kind of how that was going to work. But let's go on to the next one. What is the actual utility of the IronChain token?
So the actual utility is the technology behind it and all of the things that are going to be linked to it, in the sense that the tools are going to use IronChain coins to function, in the sense that if you want to use the tool and so on, if you're outside of the ecosystem, there's going to be monetization where outsiders going to need to pay for the use of the tools, just like credits. You're going to buy credits. Those credits going to be bought with IronChain tokens. Besides that, of course, just like I mentioned, there's going to be utilities straight integrated into the coin, like staking, liquidity pool, and so on. So yeah, pretty much the whole ecosystem is going to be linked and intervened with everything that the coin has to offer.
Perfect. Well said, well said. And then what makes your tokenomics unique or sustainable long term?
So our tokenomics is sustainable simply because of the fact that we're gonna have so many applications and so many things pretty much just suited to sustain the ecosystem long term. The tools are gonna get, of course, they're gonna get to a point where they're gonna bring in profits and so on. Those profits gonna be reinjected into the coin. There's gonna be tools that gonna be white labeled, where other companies and other startups gonna be able to buy our tools. Those, of course, those profits are gonna get injected as well. The staking and the liquidity pool and the exchange that we want to introduce, those things are gonna bring in fees as well, where it's gonna get reinjected. So pretty much every single system in IronChain has some sort of money flow, liquidity flow straight back into the coin. So it's pretty much a no-brainer to think that the tokenomics is gonna be pretty much long-term when it comes to that.
Yeah, I think that's phenomenal. Like how you said that it's just re-injecting it back into IronChain.
Yep.
It's just, you don't really hear that a lot, especially in the DeFi space. So that's another way how it's changing the DeFi space. But
yeah,
how does the staking work and what makes your approach different?
So the staking works like any other staking, where you put a certain amount of coins into the staking for a certain time period, and it spits out coins and so on a monthly return or daily return. And the way we tackle staking differently is simply by offering a flexible stake where people can retrieve their amount pretty much any moment they want. Of course, there's going to be locked periods where you will get more profit if you lock your coins a longer time. But yeah, that's one of the main difference. Besides that as well, there's gonna be events and there's gonna be e-pars where the staking is gonna give you more rewards or less rewards depending on what's the focus of the IronChain system and ecosystem in general is. Like, let's say we make an event where we are launching a trading system for futures. So the IronChainLabs is just gonna focus on that, and let's say it brought a certain amount of liquidity back to the coin. just so we can balance things out, we're gonna raise the staking amount. And let's say the market right now is just like, you know, it's going bad, it's on an all-time low and so on. So we can actually maintain IronChainLabs on a stable level. We're gonna make the longer periods of staking lock time give you higher rewards. So our stakers and our investors are gonna be more motivated to, you know, hodl the crypto winter away. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of gigs and gimmicks that we're gonna do in order to always make the staking a important component of our ecosystem.
Yeah, I mean, it is obviously very important, the staking part, so they can hodl,
Yeah.
like you said, having like just be enticed to hodl when you get more percentage as it goes on. But all right, this one has been asked by so many people on the IronChain X as well as mine. But the main question is when does a pre-sale start and how can people join?
That's a pretty hard question, to be honest, because we have a certain deadline in our heads when we're gonna launch it. But once again, it really depends on how much the community is engaged and how quickly the market recuperates, because that's one of the main facts. Right now, the market is still pretty much on a tipping point. But we know when we want to launch it. But once again, we don't really want to give a date to the community and then need to delay again. So once we mention the date and it's going to be on Telegram, that's going to be the way how you guys can join it. And on X, of course, and pretty much all of the social media platforms we have, it's going to be a definitive date where when we said it, that it's going to launch on this day, it's going to launch on this day. So no delays.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that as well. And like you said, you want everyone to be engaged. And I feel like there's so many people engaged already, but we want to just be all the way there and not just right here, right? Because we know we can be all the way there. I mean, it's just because we're sharks and we need to just get out there more, and it just takes time. Not everything will just come in as a click. It'll just, you know, it takes time to build. But the next one is why did you choose PinkCell and what security measures are in place?
So I choose PinkCell because I'm pretty good friends with one of the admins, and in general, PinkCell is a pretty good website to launch your pre-sale. And when it comes to security measurements, PinkCell has a certain system of badges where you have a AMA badge, where you have a KYC badge, and so on. And all of those badges, of course, ensure a higher security for the investor. And when it comes to the crucial part of launching the coin on PinkCell, they are pretty known for doing their job really good and so on. So on both sides, there's gonna be no foul play. We're gonna be completely doxed. We're gonna be completely verified. And PinkCell is gonna ensure that those measurements and those rules are being enforced.
Can you elaborate on the badges? Because most of the other, websites don't allow you to have badges on your profile. Can you just tell us a little bit more about that?
Pretty much when you launch a coin into pre-sale, there's gonna be a gallery where all coins are gonna be presented. And the coins that have, of course, a docs dev and KYC verification and AMA badges that they hold with the community and so on, those coins are going to be ranked higher. And of course, it gives more security to the investors. So it's just a system where you can give more trust and actually be more transparent with your community.
Yeah, just full transparency, just like A through Z. Love it. So is the pre-sale open globally, and is there any restrictions?
So yeah, that's a pretty interesting part. We were thinking about launching a pre-sale with a whitelist where there's gonna be in the first few days just a certain amount of people that are gonna be able to share the link and actually buy the coin from. Of course, if you get access to their links, you're gonna be able to buy the coin as well. But it really depends. If we get a lot of KOLs, if we get a lot of people onboarded, even more than we already have, it wouldn't be really a good idea to, soft block the initial buy amount. So yeah, when it comes to those restrictions, it's still open-ended how we're gonna really do it. But of course, there won't be any limit amount to buy. Like if somebody wants to buy 10 BNB, they're gonna be able to buy it. Soft cap is just gonna be 5 BNBs, and there's gonna be no hard cap. So yeah, pretty much it's a pretty clean coin. where you don't need to expect any restrictions, just maybe the whitelist. And if that happens, we're gonna make sure that pretty much everybody that is into the loop and everybody that is on our social media is gonna receive the whitelist link as the first ones.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good. And then just a second question on top of that. What happens after the pre-sale ends?
So, that's as well pretty good question, because we have a different structure of tackling things after the pre-sale ends. The important thing is that during the pre-sale, people are gonna be able to interact with the ecosystem already. Of course, not by buying the coin, but they're gonna be able to use certain tools. They're gonna be able to use a demo on our trading system. And on top of that, they're gonna be able as well to vote and inquire ideas that they want to see in the ecosystem. And after the pre-sale ends, we're gonna enter a phase that I call cliff phase, where the coin is not gonna be instantly launched. It's just gonna go into a phase where we're gonna reevaluate what we did and if there's any issues and so on, if the idea is being embraced by the community, and if people are suggesting better things and things that we could iron out. And depending on that, it's gonna take 1 to 2 weeks at max, and then the coin is gonna be launched instantly.
Yeah, perfect. I like it. Just taking advice from the community, making sure that they like what they're seeing, and making sure we're being transparent, like you said, A through Z, so they can understand that they're a part of the project as well. But going into the roadmap, what can investors expect during the first year after the launch?
So the first year is gonna be the most important one, because we're gonna introduce pretty much all of the ground base of IronChainLabs. So we're gonna have a trading system going into retail. We're gonna have indexes already working. We hopefully gonna have the first tools that are gonna be monetized and at the same time available for the whole investors community. And maybe not putting it into stone, the first version of our decentralized forum. So yeah, there's a lot to go through in the first year. And of course, many other surprises, like things that are gonna come, like the staking and liquidity pool, and who knows, even the exchange. Because a year doesn't sound like much, but when it comes to the base that we have and the people that we have on our team, it's a time frame where we can deliver a lot.
100%. And then on top of that, which tools or features will be available first?
So I would put main focus into the staking and the trading systems, because that's pretty much proof of concept, where of course people that are going to be staking, they're going to be able to already see that the backframe and everything is working already, and that they are getting paid actually. And the trading system, when it comes to the futures trading system, that's going to be our proof of concept that we are actually capable of tackling things that are pretty much complicated when it comes to that. It's just not, you know, getting a bunch of programmers onboarded and then trying to do something like that. It takes a lot more, and this would be actually our proof of concept, our trading systems working as intended. Those would be the main two features that I really want to have available at launch.
Yeah, just like the AI. Now, can you elaborate on how it can benefit like every single person, even if they're a newbie into the market, just trading strategically with, obviously, if you trade with emotion, it's not as good as trading with something that might tell you, hey, this is a good decision, or hey, this is a bad decision.
So our trading systems, that's why I don't call them bots, because they are not fully AI driven. They're a little bit more complicated than that. There is algorithms that we programmed ourselves. Of course, somebody could argue that this is already AI, but it's technically seen not, because it's going to be a mixture. There's going to be algorithms that ourselves going to be programming. That's going to be the end of things when it comes to the investor picking a risk profile and making their own profile based on a personal strategy or a preset of strategies. And of course, when it comes to risk management and it comes to actually filtering news and seeing trend channels, then AI is gonna come into play and pretty much put the last piece to the puzzle. But that's a way to make things as easy as possible for beginners as well, because the end consumer, he's only gonna need to take care on how much money he wants to let the system run and trade with, and on top of that, just the risk parameters where, you know, I want a maximum drawdown of 5%, and I want a take profit of 2 or 3%, and I want a martingale of 2 times, and so on. this is pretty much a basic concept that everybody that goes into the community and uses one of our trading systems are going to be able to understand and fully use.
Perfect. And then going on top of that, what are your long-term goals for IronChainLabs? I know we already talked about that before, but I guess just talk about one of the main goals that you have for the future.
So our main goal really would be going from a ecosystem into a blockchain. This is pretty much our long-term vision. I hope 3 to 5 years down the road, we could actually make an announcement where we tell all of our founders and investors that we're actually moving over to being a second layer blockchain, or maybe even a first layer blockchain. This would be the long-term vision.
Yeah, I love it. It's just reaching for those goals, and like you said, you have to start from nothing to something, and that's what you did, building all these tools. It took you a while, but you finally tackled every single thing that everyone needed you to tackle. And then going to security and trust, how are you ensuring safety, transparency, and reliability?
So when it comes to transactions and so on, of course they're gonna be all open in the sense that either you can go on Coin Explorer and take a look into the transactions and so on. The wallets are gonna be audited, so every single team wallet is gonna be open and known to the community. On top of that as well, when we are doing changes and when we're planning to introduce something new, or actually sometimes even remove something, we're going to be always transparent with the community. And on top of that as well, always keeping up the communication, always keeping up the white paper easily accessible to people, and as well easily understandable, because I'm not a big fan of writing into legalese, even though it's not necessary. A white paper should be formal, white paper should be deep and actually contain all of the important informations, but into a certain accessibility realm where people are able to understand every single function. Because one of my favorite phrases is that the one that makes the complex into something simple is a genius. So this is pretty much what we're trying to do. Make things that are usually complex really easy to understand. And this would be pretty much our trust, always being transparent, always sharing every single thing that is going behind the scenes.
Perfect. And then following with transparency, the main thing we see in Web3 is people not being fully doxxed, or if they are doxxed, not the whole entire team. So the question is, are the team members fully doxxed, or are they going to be planning to be?
So till now, every single member of our team is completely doxxed. Our programmers are doxxed, and I well know, of course, Nico is doxxed. I myself, I think there's not even any possibility to be any more doxxed than I already am. Most people already know me, like I already presented myself. I'm from Germany. I'm currently living in Brazil, and yeah, my full name is Sebastian R. And yeah, pretty much that's as doxxed as somebody can be.
Perfect. And then I'll just go ahead and say my name is Nicholas Martinez. Since Sebastian already said his first and last name, we are fully doxxed, transparent, A through Z, like we said. Nothing going on over here. But going on to the next question, what audits and verifications steps are planned?
So audit and verification steps. Once again, going back to Pinksil, we're gonna do, of course, the doxed verification, where we're gonna be putting our real names and date of birth and so on into the coin description. KYC is gonna be something as well really important, where we're gonna be verifying ourselves to the members of the team. Of course, there's gonna be certain things that are gonna be public and other things that aren't gonna be public, only to the authorities, I would say, like KYC and so on. Of course, our IDs are not gonna be out there, and crucial information about us aren't necessarily gonna be available to the whole community, but to the authorities and the Pinksil members, of course, it will. So in case something wrong goes on and we're doing some foul play and so on, they're able to report any suspicious activities. But yeah, those are the steps: auditing the wallets, KYC, doxing ourselves, and so on. So yeah, those are the steps that we're gonna take.
Yeah, I mean, being fully doxed, obviously that's transparent, but then the KYC on Pinksil, I mean, that's just like, you don't really see that a lot, especially with most projects not even being doxed or fully doxed at that point. But the next question, just talking about governance again, can you elaborate on how the community can contribute to ideas or vote on new features?
So we're gonna have a separate space, a fully separate space on our website where people are gonna be able to share their ideas into Reddit style posts and so on. Of course, you're gonna be able to send those ideas as well on Twitter TMs, on emails as well. So there's gonna be many ways to actually send those ideas over to us, and you're gonna have, of course, the full support of the community and our support as well, because sometimes somebody knows something, somebody has a great idea, but there's just like, you know, some missing parts to it where we can help out and see if we can make the idea even better.
Perfect. I mean, that was perfectly said. Someone always has an idea that is phenomenal, but we can just build on top of it. And everyone's super smart. Everyone that's watching this, they all have a good idea and they can implement that into the system. We just have to build on top of it. Going on to what kind of rewards or engagement systems do you have planned to implement?
So we're gonna have a raffling system, but once again, I'm not a fan at all of multi-level marketing, so don't worry, no pyramids or so on. It's just gonna be a raffling system. If you invite somebody, you're gonna get a small airdrop. Small in the sense of it's not gonna be, somebody's not gonna be able to never been invested into the coin and get like thousands and thousands of dollars out of the ecosystem just by inviting other people and so on. But that's gonna be one of the engagement options that we're gonna offer to people. On top of that, rewards, we're gonna have rank systems, especially in the forums, where people that are long-term holders and that are trustable and that are active on the forums, they will get, with time, they will get new ranks, and that's gonna go into the NFT part of things, where they will be recognized and so on and rewarded with time to time with those rewards just for being active and actually collaborating and contributing to the ecosystem. And of course,
and then
doing some fire content on the social medias.
Yeah. If you guys haven't already seen, our content has been phenomenal. I mean, we're only going to get better with that as well. I think that's what makes a community grow, is just seeing the crazy content and people catch on to it. Like a lot of people don't even know how to edit, etc. But when you see someone that knows how to edit, see someone that's building something like this, it's like, wow, that's truly just spot on. But going on to, it's the same thing, elaborating on how important is the community for IronChain's future.
Of course, it's a make or break deal. In my opinion, the dev team as the community need to work together all the time. The community needs to embrace the idea, needs to work together and keep the ecosystem going. And of course, the dev team needs to be transparent, needs to be honest, and as well doing their fair share of work to maintain things in order and actually going. So pretty much the community is the fuel, is the main engine of the whole ecosystem. So that's why we're pretty much always and everywhere we can treating and putting the community on first place.
Yep, it's like a car. The car's not going to go without the engine, and the community's the engine. So I love that. And then one question that a lot of people have been asking me as well as you is, are you planning on doing collaborations with other DeFi labs or brands?
For sure. There's a lot of brands and DeFi ecosystems and blockchains that already I already have taken a look on, especially like the Shadow protocol. That's a really cool chain. And I hope that in the future we can work with those systems as well, because at the end of the day, we are I would say a non-intrusive protocol where every single DeFi system out there could work with us in some sort of way. Let it be through engagement and on a social media level, let it be through using our tools and white labeling our tools and so on. So our ecosystem is perfectly made for actually supporting, being the support, just like a video game where you have the supporter role. We're gonna be pretty much the healer of the team, the healer of the Dungeons and Dragons campaign. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, like the Mercy. Perfect. And then this one, I know you wanted to talk about this, and pretty excited to talk about it. But what does being recognized by the Binance DeFi program mean for you?
That's actually something really, really big. In Brazil, we are actually the first DeFi lab in the sense of the things we're trying to tackle, and as well the grandeur of things that we're trying to build. And this means that that's going to be a second verification and a second audit that we're actually capable of calling ourselves a DeFi lab and so on, officially recognized by Binance. And Binance, in my opinion, is one of the highest standards you can go for. So yeah, it means a lot. It means a lot. I've been affiliated for a long time already with Binance, and being able to actually work together with them in the DeFi protocol space is it just makes me really happy.
Yeah, what could you elaborate to someone that, or at least explain to someone that's new to the whole crypto space, why it's so important to be noticed by Binance?
So already, like I said, Binance is one of the higher standards you can aim for, especially because they are the biggest exchange that there is for crypto. And because the quality on those protocols and DeFi projects that are going on the Binance space are just really crazy. So yeah, if we are there, it means that we are holding up a pretty good quality.
Yep, like you said, it's a second audit, and that's just,
yeah,
I love it. I love it. And then well, a big question is, why should someone invest into IronChain today instead of waiting?
So, of course, it's everywhere like that. If you miss out, you can still get in, but it's not gonna be the same thing. The early bird catches the worm, and that's pretty much the same thing as here. If you're invested and if you're trusting and believing into IronChain since the beginning, like I said, we're gonna be treating you and putting you in first place, just like the rest of the community that adopts the idea as early as possible. So this means you're gonna be able to use the tools, you're gonna be able to get rewards and one-time NFTs that are gonna be exclusive and limited, and obviously get the best price when it comes to buying the coin. So yeah, of course, our doors are always open for everybody and anybody, but the biggest advantages and the biggest boom you're gonna get at the start.
Yeah, of course, like you said, the biggest boom in the early world gets the worm. I love how you said that. And obviously you have to believe in something, but there's a lot of projects that just come out every single day, as you know, Sebastian. And what sucks is that they don't have all these tools, or they don't have all the transparency A through Z, having the team docs and all that, etc. So it's just super cool to see all of that, especially to actually believe in it. Like this is something you can actually believe in, because there's so many good things about it, and it's not just one thing, it's 1,000, right? So going on to the next question, what message do you want to leave for future investors and supporters?
So the main message would be just to just to always do what you think is right. I have been proven many times wrong when I went against my gut feeling. And this is pretty much the message I want to leave. Give IronChain a try if your intuition is telling you so. And once again, just do what your gut feeling tells you to. And always try to improve bit by bit, just like our ecosystem is trying to do, step by step. Don't overrun things. Once again, just like our vision and methodology already shows, we are always trying to get everything working as intended before we actually promise, so we don't overpromise. So those are the things that I want to leave for anybody that is watching right now. Always do your things step by step, organize, have a system, have a agenda, and so on, and just try to be a better person, a better trader, and so on a daily basis. Because you don't need to be the wolf of the Wall Street in one day. You can be it in 1 year, and you're still gonna be far ahead of other people, and not just that, but far ahead of your older self.
Yeah, well, I'm just gonna clap it up really quick, because that was super well said. And especially just emphasizing what you just said, it's just taking a step every single day. It's becoming a person, a better person, a better trader, whatever it might be, every single day. It's not gonna happen in a day. It's not gonna happen, in a couple days. It could happen in a year, but as long as you're taking one step forward, that's all that matters.
Exactly.
And then sorry, go on.
Yeah. And we're gonna be supporting and as well giving the company that everybody needs to take those steps, because of course the turtle wins the race against Achilles, and that's very much what we want to do. We want to help everybody step by step with those tools and with the education and with the ecosystem, so you can truly be the best trader, the best kind of trader that you could have been, in the sense of unlocking your potential with the tools that we're going to be offering.
Yep, like having them on a leash, not just letting them go out and do their own thing. I love the last question, and I really want you to talk about this for a quick second, because a lot of people don't know where to find us. Where can people follow your updates and join the community?
Many platforms. We're pretty much universally named IronChainLabs on X, on Telegram we're public as well. On Instagram, you guys can follow my private profile on Instagram. That is Sebastian_RBTA. We have the IronChain account that is as well at IronChainLabs on Instagram. We have Nico's account that is Nicodadev on Instagram, X, and on TikTok as well. So pretty much on any social media, if you guys look IronChainLabs, you're gonna be able to find us, and on YouTube as well.
Yep, exactly. And then with our podcast on YouTube, if you guys haven't checked that out yet, we are going to be posting our full podcast. We've already posted podcast clips. But anyways, thank you guys so much for coming to watch the Q&A. We really appreciate it. You guys have been doing amazing work on just supporting us. So we're just super happy to be able to talk to you guys and finally release the Q&A. But without further ado, is there anything else you would like to say, Sebastian?
I don't think so. That's pretty much it. I'm really happy that we actually managed to hold this Q&A, and I hope that the questions don't disappear, that the questions just keep coming, because like I said, if there's questions, there's interest.
Yeah, we're very well said.
Yeah, Einstein said it, never stop asking, and that's the way I live, never stop asking.
Yep. Keep learning. But perfect. We'll see you guys later. Thank you guys so much for showing up. I hope you guys got the transparency that you guys needed to show, having us show our faces and just answer all the questions A through Z. If you guys have any more, like Sebastian said, make sure you guys just tell us. Just even if you guys want to DM us, just let us know more questions. We love it. But without further ado, let's get it.
Exactly. Have a good one.